From glowing orbs over Arizona to mysterious crafts crashing in remote places.
What is that?
Some of these videos were confiscated and others forcefully removed from the internet. Today, we're diving into the most shocking UFO sightings ever caught on camera.
Did you see that?
Locals in the Dominican Republic were left stunned after a huge metallic object reportedly fell from the sky, landing in a remote area. Witnesses described hearing a dull impact, followed by smoke and small fires where the object hit. The surface looked welded together, uneven and scorched, unlike any regular aircraft material. Officials arrived quickly, but released no detailed statement, which only fueled the speculation. Some believe it's part of a satellite or space debris, while others insist it might be something entirely off record. The uncertainty has only made this strange event spread faster across the internet. Glowing orbs. People in the suburbs of Phoenix, Arizona were left speechless after spotting several glowing orbs drifting out from a huge bright object in the night sky. It was captured on August 19th, 2025, around 10:42 p.m. The orbs moved slowly, spreading in different directions, while the main light stayed completely still. Neighbors came out onto their porches, filming as the strange lights hovered high above the city. The scene lasted only a few minutes, but it was enough to shock everyone there. Shocking crash video.
What is that?
Look at the smoke.
A family fishing near a river captured startling footage of what looked like a large metallic craft crashed at the forest's edge. The video shows faint smoke rising from the site as they cautiously approached, revealing the object's enormous size, far bigger than any vehicle they recognized. Just as the family got closer, the footage abruptly cuts off. Hours later, the clip disappeared from most online platforms. No official report ever surfaced, which only made people more suspicious, because the video documented the entire incident quite clearly.
Is that a plane?
No, that's a saucer.
Silver saucer. A fighter pilot flying near San Clemente Island, California, caught sight of a silver disc-shaped object flying just above the ocean's surface. It wasn't very big, but it was moving incredibly fast, keeping up with one of America's top fighter jets, the F-22 Raptor. It couldn't have been a missile or a drone. Nothing we know of can move like that. But what really shocked the pilot was when the object began to pass him, speeding ahead until it vanished from sight. To this day, no one has been able to explain what was caught on camera. Buried saucer discovery. A viral TikTok video shows a man stumbling upon what appears to be a saucer-shaped craft, half buried in sand. The object's cracked surface reveals tangled cables and metallic layers inside, giving it the appearance of real machinery rather than debris. He walks around it, filming up close to show there's no CGI or visual editing involved. The clip spread quickly, sparking a wave of debate online. Was it an elaborate hoax or evidence of something that actually fell from above? Let me know in the comments. Descending figures. In one of the strangest clips shared online, a faint disc-shaped craft can be seen hovering above an empty field. Despite the low resolution, its shape and movement appear controlled. What made this sighting different were the dark figures that seemed to descend slowly from beneath it, moving in perfect sync before vanishing into the shadows below. There's no sound, no visible beam, and no sign of manipulation. Crash in the ice. A brief video that surfaced online appeared to show a saucer-shaped craft resting in a frozen region near Russia. The snow around it showed clear drag marks, as if it had slid before stopping. The clip spread quickly but was mysteriously removed from major platforms within hours. No agency or news outlet addressed it, leaving people to hunt for re-uploads. The sudden disappearance has made this one of the most talked about lost UFO clips, with many wondering why it vanished so suddenly and who wanted it gone.
Дети мои, смотрите, какую я скульптуру нашла.
Interstellar visitor. Recently, a mysterious object named 3I Atlas was spotted drifting across the skies over Dayton, Ohio, and it instantly caught everyone's attention. The thing looked unusually steady and bright, almost like it wasn't supposed to be there. What made it even more interesting was a second video, filmed from a different location, showing the same object from another angle. NASA also used the James Webb Telescope and confirmed that this wasn't just some random light. They had actually seen it earlier and identified it as an interstellar visitor, meaning it came from outside our solar system. The craziest part? This same object was floating in deep space just 2 months ago, and now it's made its way into Earth's atmosphere. The Spanish Circle. Years before 8K cameras and AI editing softwares, a camper in Spain recorded a circular object drifting slowly over a ridge. The film wasn't fancy, but experts later confirmed it hadn't been tampered with, an impressive detail considering the technology of that time. The area where it appeared, interestingly, sits near one of Spain's oldest meteorite impact zones, where unusual magnetic readings are still detected today. Whether that has any connection is unclear, but it does make you wonder if there's something about that region that attracts whatever's out there. Turkey 2008. As the title suggests, something happened back in Turkey 17 years ago, that even after almost 2 decades it remains not only a mystery, but possibly the greatest piece of evidence of alien life. The video shows an incredibly large flying spacecraft in the night sky that looks like a shiny metallic oval-shaped UFO. There was a series of unexplained events in the northwest area of the country, and this footage was part of it. Even after this video was studied by scientists, they could not determine it to be a hoax. Triangle in sky. Footage from an evening sky watch shows a perfectly triangular object hovering in total silence. Its edges were traced by faint purple lights blinking at even intervals, creating a defined geometric outline. Unlike planes, it didn't tilt or adjust direction, it simply stayed fixed against the dark background. The clear formation of lights sparked comparisons to past black triangle UFO cases, often linked to rumored experimental stealth craft. But with no official explanation or matching aircraft design, the site remains one of the eeriest captures shared online this month. Blinking lights.
Não, você é doido.
De algum lugar, viado.
In Contagem, Brazil, a casual evening took a strange turn when a group of students noticed bright lights moving across the sky. At first, they brushed it off as a plane, but the lights soon began blinking in an organized pattern that didn't match any known flight signals. The large object above them moved with an unsettling calm, its formation shifting ever so slightly, but never breaking. The footage went viral soon after, and people had a lot to say, and most were about UFO or other extraterrestrial comments.
Tem linha não, menino.
Lógico que tem. É. Nah.
Fiery streak of Witnesses reported seeing a fast-moving object cutting across the sky, leaving a bright trail of flames behind it. At first glance, many thought it was a meteor or a rocket, but its steady and controlled flight path suggested otherwise. It didn't tumble or break apart. It moved with purpose before vanishing past the horizon. Experts later noted that no scheduled launches or re-entries were recorded that day, which only deepened the mystery. Glowing lights. A nighttime clip from Mexico has stirred debate after showing an object with multiple glowing lights arranged in a perfect line underneath. Each light flickered in an even rhythm, giving the impression of an organized, machine-like pattern. The witness filming stayed silent throughout, focusing closely as the object hovered low over the horizon. Analysts pointed out that no known aircraft displays such uniform light sequencing without visible structure or noise. For many, the mechanical precision of those flashes makes this sighting hard to dismiss as coincidence or camera error. strange craft. During a calm evening, a witness spotted a massive V-shaped object moving quietly across the sky. The craft showed no visible engines, rotors, or wings, and its path remained steady and controlled. What caught attention most was the total silence. The witness described it as gliding with impossible smoothness. While some suggest it could be part of an advanced flight test, others believe it's evidence of something operating far beyond known technology. Crashing in Gulf.
What in the hell is that?
On March 17, 2025, a faint object was filmed near the Gulf of Mexico, appearing to fall rapidly from the sky. The footage shows a small flash before the object drops straight toward the ocean, disappearing in seconds. Witnesses described a puff of smoke and then complete silence. No splash, no debris, nothing. Analysts suggested it could be a meteor fragment, but its path and speed didn't match typical entries. So what do you think this was? Kindly comment below.
Did you see that?
Floating object. A family in Japan recorded a short TikTok clip that quickly spread across social media. Filmed from their apartment window, it shows a large, circular object hanging silently in the sky. The family's voices in the background capture their confusion as they try to figure out what they're looking at. The object barely moves, holding its position long enough to make viewers question if it was real or digitally altered. Despite countless re-uploads and frame-by-frame analyses, no one has been able to confirm what was floating over the city that night. Lights over Beijing. In Shunyi, Beijing, a viral video captured a massive hovering object that left locals stunned. The footage, filmed by singer Tang Xiao from Supergirl, includes audio of frightened voices asking, "What is it?" and begging one another to stay quiet as the object loomed above. It appeared motionless, surrounded by haze, with no visible wings or sound. Analysts later debated whether it could be a rare optical illusion caused by cloud layering, but many weren't convinced. The footage has since become one of China's most talked about UFO clips. Unidentified Bangkok object. A box-shaped UFO was recently seen hovering over Bangkok, Thailand, and it had everyone pointing their phones at the sky. The object looked solid and steady, with clear edges, definitely not the shape or movement of a balloon or drone. Several videos from different parts of the city showed the same thing floating high above, staying perfectly still. The sight quickly sparked new discussions about UFOs. With how often these things are showing up lately, it's hard not to wonder what's really happening up there. The Cape sighting. Back in September 2003, people visiting the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa noticed something odd in the sky above the beach. A glowing object was hanging still, just hovering in one spot against the clouds. Locals and tourists started recording it, unsure of what they were witnessing. The footage clearly showed a saucer-like shape floating above the shore. It was clearly visible, and after a few minutes, it vanished. Even now, after all these years, there's still no solid answer to what that mysterious object actually was. Mystery object. In recent footage taken in China, a bright white object was seen floating high above a mountain range. It stayed almost perfectly still for several minutes before slowly moving out of sight. People online quickly started referring to it as the White Spacer. What stood out most was how steady and well-defined it looked, not drifting like a balloon or shaped like a drone. The clip spread fast, leaving many wondering what kind of object could hang in the air like that without a sound. Metallic shape. On February 1st, 2021 residents in Paraíba, Brazil, spotted something unusual cutting across the clouds, a long, metallic, cigar-shaped object. It moved in complete silence, keeping a straight, even pace over the city. Witnesses said it didn't behave like a plane or any known aircraft, describing it as smooth and deliberate in its motion. The brief sighting became one of the country's more memorable UFO moments in recent years, mostly because of how calm and controlled the object seemed. Night drive encounter.
What is that? Michael.
While driving home late one evening, a couple spotted something strange floating above the road. A dark object with one dim light blinking on top. Curious and uneasy, they slowed down, recording as it silently glided along, matching their pace like it was watching them back. It wasn't shaped like any drone or aircraft they knew, and the way it moved felt deliberate. After a few tense seconds, the object drifted off into the night sky, leaving them speechless. Silent craft. Witnesses described a massive craft suspended silently against the open sky. It wasn't just the size that caught their attention, it was the structure. The surface looked engineered, not random or rough, with panels and lines that almost resembled satellite construction. What's odd is that no radar in the area picked it up, even though it stayed visible for several minutes. That gap between what people saw and what technology didn't detect has puzzled analysts since, raising questions about how something that large could hide from modern tracking systems. Triangular anomaly. A triangular-shaped object was seen moving steadily across the sky, its corners marked by bright lights that blinked in a perfect, repeating pattern. Witnesses said the formation looked too precise to be random and too symmetrical to be a typical aircraft. What made it even more unusual was how silently it moved. No sound and no visible trail. Later, aviation trackers confirmed that no commercial or military flights matched its path that night. Interestingly, the same pattern of lights had been reported weeks earlier in a nearby region, suggesting this wasn't an isolated sighting, and the geometry of that triangle continues to puzzle everyone who saw it. Desert space debris. On the 18th of October 2025, mine workers in Western Australia's Pilbara Desert stumbled upon a large burning object lying beside a remote access road about 30 kilometers, around 18 miles from the town of Newman. The sight was alarming, a dark, charred structure that looked nothing like anything from Earth's surface. Emergency services were called immediately, leading to a multi-agency investigation involving the Western Australia Police Force, the Australian Space Agency, and the Department of Fire and Emergency Services. The object was made of carbon fiber, similar to material found in rocket tanks. It's believed to be space debris that re-entered Earth's atmosphere before crashing into the desert, but it's yet to be properly identified. Still lights overhead.
Holy shit! What the is that?
What is happening?
A couple in a quiet neighborhood captured something strange above their home one evening. A glowing object with shifting colors hovered motionless in the dark sky, holding its position far longer than any aircraft would. The lights blinked softly, steady and controlled, before fading without a trace. Investigators later noted how rare it is for an object to stay completely still in open air without visible support or sound. Whatever it was, it didn't behave like anything commonly seen in flight.
Oh my god, what the is happening?
Object over Mexico. Recorded on December 13th, 2020. This footage from Mexico shows a smooth, circular object hovering in complete silence before slowly descending toward a forest. The most striking part is how the object shifts through a series of colors, soft blues, greens, and reds, without any visible light source. It moves steadily, showing no smoke, noise, or propulsion system. Analysts noted that its descent appeared deliberate, almost as if under control. The moment it disappears behind the trees, the clip ends abruptly, leaving behind the haunting question of what could maneuver so precisely without a trace. Sudden appearance.
Avea aceeași poziție și nu se vedea. Bă, dă-te în pula mea de aici, frate.
A short clip filmed on a rural road in Romania has become one of the most debated sightings online. The witness claims the object wasn't visible seconds before the camera picked it up. The footage shows a faint metallic form suspended in the sky. No motion, no sound, just there. What adds to the mystery is the way the person filming turns the camera to show the empty surroundings, clearly trying to prove there's no trick involved. Experts are puzzled by the claim that the object appeared out of nowhere, making this one of those rare cases that feels both eerie and impossible to explain.
Stai să schimb imaginile mai multe.
Rotating Alaskan light. Residents in Alaska captured footage of a glowing object moving slowly across the night sky. What stood out most was its rotating light that shifted direction in a smooth, deliberate way, nothing like a drone or standard aircraft. Despite its distance, the glow remained consistent, suggesting something larger than it appeared. Local experts reviewed the footage but couldn't match its movement to any known satellite or phenomenon. To this day, the clip remains one of Alaska's most puzzling sky sightings. Saucer over Curitiba. A video filmed in Curitiba, Brazil, shows a saucer-shaped object hovering silently above the city's skyline. It holds its position without movement or sound, remaining completely still for several seconds before slowly gliding away. Analysts pointed out how steady the object remained despite wind conditions that night, which rules out common explanations like drones. Whatever it was, its quiet presence and flawless stability made the footage stand out as one of the clearest UFO clips recorded in the region. Skimming over water.
It's an orb. I got an orb on video right now.
Viewers were stunned by footage showing an unidentified object gliding just above the ocean's surface. The object maintained a steady path, moving fast yet unnaturally smooth, almost as if floating on an invisible track. Its metallic reflection could be seen in the water, along with small ripples forming in its wake. Before anyone could make sense of it, the object dipped sharply and disappeared into the sea. Experts reviewing the clip couldn't find signs of editing, but its sudden submersion added another layer of mystery to what might have been moving beneath those waters.
It's just skimming across the water right now.
Desert chase. Footage from the Nevada desert has stirred intense debate after showing 3 disc-shaped objects moving swiftly through the sky, seemingly followed by F-22 fighter jets. The formation looked coordinated, and the chase appeared genuine enough to spark theories of a military encounter with unidentified craft. Some dismissed it as visual trickery, but others noted that the jet movements matched standard pursuit patterns. No official comment has been made, leaving the clip standing as one of the most convincing and controversial sightings caught over U.S. airspace in recent years. Forest encounter footage. An old recording discovered online shows what looks like a metallic craft hovering quietly between trees deep in a forest. The clip, filmed decades before digital editing or AI tools existed, appears remarkably steady and clear. The object hangs low, completely still, showing no strings, shadows, or movement from wind. Analysts who reviewed the video noted that the lighting and reflections remain consistent with its surroundings, details that would be difficult to fake at the time. To this day, it stands as one of the most convincing early UFO recordings ever found. New York mystery. On September 24th of this year, a New York City resident captured footage of a glowing object suspended high above the skyline. As he focused in, smaller lights began dropping from beneath it, moving in slow, deliberate patterns. The video's clarity made the shapes easy to distinguish, leading to endless debates online about what they could be: drones, flares, or something far less explainable. The event's timing and direction didn't match any reported flight activity, leaving experts with little to go on. Houston sighting.
Can someone tell me what's going on over there?
In Houston, a late-night video showed several lights drifting across the sky in perfect formation. The witness described them as glowing orbs moving silently together before fading into the distance. The clip gained quick attention online, but within hours, it disappeared from the platform entirely. Attempts to re-upload were flagged or removed without reason, sparking theories about censorship or possible government involvement. Do you agree?
That's not usually there.
Object in storm. Filmed on June 1st of this year in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, also known as Saigon, this footage shows something unusual appearing during a thunderstorm. Each lightning flash briefly illuminated a round object suspended above the clouds, perfectly still despite the violent weather. The person recording managed to hold the camera steady long enough to capture its full outline, smooth, circular, and clearly defined. Experts reviewing the clip noted that no aircraft could hover so steadily in those conditions, leaving the nature of the glowing shape completely unexplained. Cylinder above ridge. Back in January 2020, an unusual sight appeared above the mountains. A tall, cylinder-shaped object moving with surprising control. At first, it seemed to hover, but the moment the camera zoomed in, it slipped behind the ridge as if avoiding attention. Not long after, it showed up again, gliding downward slowly. That calm but deliberate movement had people convinced they'd just seen something truly out of the ordinary. Lights over Vegas.
Look how long that is, y'all. Look how long from the white light.
Late one night in Las Vegas, a man filming the skyline noticed a set of lights flickering above the clouds. At first, it looked like reflections, but then the lights started forming a perfect line, shifting in rhythm like a pulse. The pattern repeated, 3 long flashes, 2 short, almost like a code. That same week, several pilots in nearby airspace reported unexplained interference in their radio channels. Nothing was officially connected, but the timing was too close for coincidence. Whatever was up there, it wasn't just floating, it seemed to be communicating.
It's the airplane. It's just something in the air just sitting there.
Unknown flying craft. Footage from a busy cafe shows a stationary object hovering above an open-air seating area. The object emitted dim, flickering lights from its underside, maintaining a fixed position for several minutes before moving upward and vanishing. Eyewitnesses confirmed that it produced no sound or visible propulsion, ruling out common drones. Local aviation authorities later verified that no aircraft were active in that area at the time. The video has since become a point of discussion among analysts studying urban sightings, as it highlights how these incidents often occur in populated spaces without immediate explanation. Object spotted. Witnesses were left confused after spotting an object drifting high above, moving without sound or visible propulsion. It wasn't shaped like a drone or any known aircraft, and yet it glided smoothly across the sky. Online viewers speculated about its design. Some suggested experimental technology, others leaned towards something not of this world. What made this case stand out was its silence and precision, both unusual for anything operating at that altitude. Green saucer. This footage was recorded in an undisclosed town where a passerby noticed a round object hovering above the street and decided to start recording. The craft moved slowly, its green lights glowing softly underneath, creating a steady rhythm as it drifted forward. It didn't make a sound, and it didn't move like a drone. No wobble, no sudden tilt, just smooth, deliberate motion. Local aviation logs showed nothing in that airspace at the time. Unusual shape.
Kites are not gonna just fly away.
In San Bernardino, California, witnesses spotted a strange figure floating through a smoky sky that seemed to glow from the city lights below. The object didn't match the shape or motion of any drone or aircraft, and at moments, its outline shifted into something resembling a giant squid gliding through the air. Experts noted that wildfire haze can sometimes distort perspective, but the steady movement and structure seen in the footage made this case difficult to explain. glowing craft captured. A recent online video has drawn massive attention for showing a glowing object suspended high above the horizon. Its lights shimmered across what looked like a smooth metallic surface, almost like windows on a craft. Viewers pointed out that it held its position unusually well, neither drifting nor fading as most reflections do. Analysts have yet to determine whether the lights were a product of atmospheric reflection or something mechanical in motion. The precision of the flashing pattern, though, remains one of the most puzzling details of the recording. Mysterious circles. In Paraúna, Goiás, Brazil, locals came across strange circular patterns carved into massive rocks. Each mark was smooth and symmetrical, showing no signs of natural erosion or tool work. The discovery quickly drew attention online, with some claiming they could be remnants of a landing site. Geological experts couldn't confirm their exact origin, leaving the mystery wide open. Now it's time for what you've been waiting for. The subscriber's pick of the day that captured an official UFO crash. The footage reportedly shows a white, oval-shaped object plummeting toward the desert floor near Area 51, Nevada, back in 1996. At first, it looks like just another piece of debris, until you notice something strange. Right before hitting the ground, the object changes direction, almost as if it's trying to pull up. Then it bounces, staying in one solid piece, and disappears into a cloud of dust. Whatever it was, it didn't behave like anything we know. Not far from there, in the Paranagat Valley, one of the few wooded areas near the base, a hiker recorded something deeply unsettling. The clip shows a pale, thin creature hiding among the trees. Its limbs were long, its head large, and its eyes completely black. Another video captured around the same time showed a similar alien-like creature in the woods. Although the crash happened a long time ago, UFO enthusiasts and alien hunters are convinced that the crash of 1996 was the first actual moment where aliens started living here.